What it do, guys? Manjoume here, and today we're checking out Retro Games, the A500 Mini. This is a Amiga mini console that has 25 built-in games. Does not include the AC adapter, but does include a few other things that are actually pretty nice, and we don't always see with this sort of console. I say console, but this is more of a mini computer type thing, because it actually does include a mouse and a controller if you want more of the gaming experience. And I suppose the games are all at least up to rated T14. So let's take a look at the box. A character from Zool on the bottom of his shoe. It even says Zool. I think Worms? One of the Worms characters? And I think that's an alien from one of the Alien games. So that's actually kind of cool. We have some movie games. We have some other classic games in there. Pretty cool. Now, looking at this side, there isn't too much to really say about it, other than retrogames.biz. Go to this other side, and we have some features. Emulates Amiga 500, 600, and 1200. Save and resume games, that's pretty cool. Via USB, add your own games, update firmware, and connect your own devices. That's pretty rad. And this thing is in HD. Only goes up to 720p, as most of these devices tend to do, but can do so in 50 or 60 Hertz. Multi-scaling options and CRT filter if you want a quasi closer to authentic experience. Now this is in English, French, Italian, Deutschland, German, is that what the E is? Spanish, and PL. What would PL be? I'm not sure what PL is. If you know what PL means, let me know in the comment section below. And at the bottom we see a wizard. It's pretty rad. On the other side, we see the contents of the box, which is the A500 Mini, 2-button USB mouse. So you could maybe just use that as a mouse if you really wanted to. An 8-button USB gamepad, so just a normal gamepad at this point. USB-C power supply, which is pretty cool that it uses USB-C opposed to micro USB, which is what most other ones do, including the Sega Genesis Mini and Mini 2, I believe. Then it actually has an HDMI cable. It didn't have to, but I'm appreciative that it does. The only thing it doesn't have is a brick. I have plenty of bricks out there, and I even have this one that should work with the... Was this the... No, it was the TurboGrafx Mini? One of these mini consoles. I got this specifically because it apparently has the right voltage or something for it. This, however, should be able to take whatever I throw at it, being USB-C. I think it's a little smarter. Looking at the back of the box, we have 25 classic Amiga games included, and that includes Another World, Zool's, Worms, Pinball Dreams, Simon the Sorcerer, so that kind of runs a gambit of a lot of what we've seen so far. The Sentinel, Cadaver, Speedball 2, Dragon's Breath, Alien Breed, that was the one we saw too. Stunt Car Racer, Battle Chess, I don't really know chess, but hey, here's a way to learn. F-16, Combat Pilot, Alien Breed, 3D, Kickoff 2, Paradroid 90, ATR All-Terrain Racing, I think that says Quack, California Games, which I think was also on like the NES or something. The Chaos Engine, Titus Fox, Lost Patrol, Arcade Pool, Protect X, and Super Cars 2. Pretty cool. It is loaded with these games, and you can get other games legally pretty attainable to get these games. Speaking of, you need, I think it's pronounced wide load. Load your own wide load package games via USB. I think they have to be in that format to work, but they should work. And you can buy a wide load package online. I think it's like $20, or I don't really know the translation. It might be closer to $30, and you can just get all these games in a, downloadable thing. Put on a USB stick, stick it in, and you can just play all those games. Not for free, but you didn't have to go through any hoops to get there. Okay, let's take a look inside the box. Oh, the top looks kind of cool. You get to see the back of the unit. before we even get there, you have a USB, 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 HDMI, USB-C, and I'm assuming a power button. I'm also going to assume that the keys do not work. They probably wouldn't. This thing is tiny, but it is quite adorable. That comes right off. Yeah, it's just one big hunk of plastic, which, I mean, you can't blame it for being like a miniature of a PC, so obviously it's all one piece. That would be kind of cool. Actually, it's better off that it doesn't work, because that would just be annoying to try to control it with that. That's be pretty bad. On the side is where I think cards would have gone. Cards would have gone in there, because you would press this button and it would have done that. I don't know if it actually... It looks like it might be pressable, but it's not really doing anything. That would have been a cool way to switch something. I don't know. Could have turned that into a functional button. It does have power and drive LED. Drive might be when it's accessing USB. That'd be pretty cool. And power is just when it's on, really. On the back, once again, we have our USB, 3 of them. HDMI looks like it's full size, which is also really good. And USB-C. Power button. And that is it. One thing I both find interesting and also a little annoying, and I guess that's like the nature of these sort of things, is that all your plugs are in the back, which means the front is clean. There's nothing going on in front here. You can put it anywhere, edge of a table, whatever. Everything's hanging off the back, but that also means that your controller needs to have sufficient length, or else, well, it's not going to reach. So that would be kind of a pain. We have our quick start guide, which... quick start guide, you go to the back, plug it in, controller, mouse. You have an extra, which is probably and ideally for your USB games that you own, which is pretty cool. There's some games that I absolutely would love to play on here, although I don't exactly know if they are legally or supposed to be on here. So I guess we'll find that one out in a bit. Now, clearly marked our boxes here, which I appreciate. First thing I'm going to do is take out the mouse and maybe compare it to a more normal or contemporary mouse and see what the difference is, really. Okay, that's where our HDMI cable in here, which is also color-coded to everything else being that beige color, which I think is pretty cool. You're never really going to see it other than when you take pictures, but it's pretty cool. We have our mouse, which doesn't weigh much, but it does have that here. And this, I think, also has plastic over it. So you're going to want to take that off so you have that grip, better grip on there. It's not too big. Here is a Razer mouse. It is a little shorter. Now, I don't know if this could be a 1-to-1 to the original. I really couldn't tell you, and with the way this cable is, I could almost believe it. But yeah, you have your essential left and right buttons, completely separate. And of course, it is USB. And it is not a old ball style mouse, it is optical. So that is also something to keep and be aware of if that matters to you. Let's take a look at this, the controller, which I'm gonna guess houses, since this housed the HDMI cable, that this will have the power cable and said controller. So let's take a look, and I believe I'm right. There's your power supply, USB-C, also beige. And then we have the controller itself, which I think, yeah, I'm hoping this is enough length to do what we need to do. They should really make sure it's longer, just because of the nature of having to route it behind and either around, over, or even under wherever you're placing the console itself. But It's not bad. It's kind of like a combination of the PlayStation 1 controller, the original no stick version with the 4-button D-pad, and the SNES controller pad. It's not terrible. And then 2 shoulders that are marked up right here, but you look at it right here and it doesn't really say because it's right there. I think you had space to put it here. Yeah, you probably could have written it there. But no, this is good. A home button, menu button. I'm guessing menu might be like options or start. Home, I'm assuming just takes you home. I'm not really sure. Again, I've never really had an Amiga, and this is kind of my excuse to delve into that world. And this thing, I think, will be pretty fun to play with. I don't know if I'm going to end up doing the legal package for like 30 bucks or if I'm just going to try to find it myself. And on the back, see it says the A500 Mini. Well guys, that's it for the A500 Mini. If you want to stay up to date on my videos and live streams on both YouTube and Twitch, check out links in the description below. Like, comment, subscribe, and consider joining. That's all for now guys. Manjoume out.